Welcome, punters, to another episode of the Whispers Racing Podcast, Victoria Handicap / Easter Cup Day. As you can see, if you're watching on YouTube, I'm flying Han Solo this episode. After last week's podcast, Maddie has had a fill up off the podcast tips and has gone for a holiday. So enjoy your Easter holiday, Maddie, and enjoy spending all those winnings. And off those winners last week, we found Deep Strike at around $3 at the time, Cannonball at around $7 on the Thursday night, and Pineapple of the Week in Adelaide, which was hardly moving, absolutely pissed in at $3.80 when we tipped it. Great result last week for all the listeners. Hope you had a fill up. As always, this episode is proudly brought to you by Wishbet. Check them out, punters, at wishbet.com.au or download their app at the Apple or Android store. I use them, punters, so if you're looking for a new bookie, please check them out. And Maddie and I do thank them for their ongoing support. Last week's Pineapple of the Week, as I said, was hardly moving. What a win, $3.80. And when we talked about it, I thought it was an arrogant win on the Saturday. Great ride. More importantly, we had a collect for one of my subs. This week we have Nick, and good luck to Nick as we're shooting for two in a row. So stay tuned, Nick, to find out what your Pineapple $50 bonus bet will go on. Track stats, I'm going to look at Sale and Caulfield. Sale on the Good Friday, rail true. Normally being a track that you could have every chance of winning wherever you might be. But the past year, it's really favoured the leaders and it's really been advantage to be there. So keep an eye on it and act accordingly, as it will play some sort of bias, and I reckon that'll be on the leaders. Caulfield rail is 3 metres. We'll be, as we've always indicated, we'll look for horses up on pace. Typical Caulfield. Please note, punters, the weather heats up Friday and Saturday, so it should favour horses on the rail. And if they don't water the track in the morning, well, the rail's going to be the place to be. But so stay listening to your socials and see if they do water that morning. I will kick things off with Sale in race 5, odds courtesy of Wishbet. We've got Uncle Bryn, $2.70. We've got Beretta, number 5, $2.90. 4 Worthily, $4.60. 10 Ancient Egypt, $9.50. And $10 plus the rest. The speed map, Ocean Thief from 5 should be the leader on the rail, with number 10, Ancient Egypt from Barrier 7 should be outside leader. Number 3, Uncle Bryn from 8, as I will say it, it's in a sticky position, but I think they can use Ancient Egypt to get across and find a spot. Beretta should kick up from 1, and Delightful Savings should be right behind Uncle Bryn. Number 4, Worthily, hard in the market. I reckon they're going to be quite negative with that because it does step away quite slowly, like most European horses do. When looking at the field, I think it's a 3-horse race, and all 3 horses are ex-European horses that can win, as I don't think our crop is quite up to these. Kick things off with number 4, Worthily, coming off 2 runs in the spring. First up was a pass mark at the 1400, and now second up, it won nicely. My concern is, and I could be wrong with this info, this horse was sent to Werribee Vets after its second up win, as they thought there was a serious injury to the horse. It's come back. Don't know what they've come back with, but can't be that serious if it's coming back in April. It's only had 1 jump out on its return, and it looked to go super, and it's come back well. Only 1 jump out is my concern. Can win, and I wouldn't talk you out of backing it if you do like it, but I feel its grand final might be in Brisbane, and they're going to use this first up run as its second trial. Number 5, Beretta. Nice win first up at Pakenham. Looks still to be learning the way it was running down the straight at Pakenham. From barrier 1, they can really hunt up and camp behind the leaders, but could be stuck looking at bums while the others are off and gone. The one I'm happy to recommend a bet here is number 3, Uncle Bryn. Has good European form and can see why they purchased this one. Looks a real smart horse. First up, I feel it should have won. Jockey Error, Thomas Stockdale. Have a look on its run, first up run on .com. It's just sickening. Old Flame, who won that race, has come out and run well at Caulfield last week, running second to Paperboy. So the form looks to be stacking up well. Now we get Zara on board. That's a huge jockey change and a positive one for us. Barrier 8 is a bit sticky, but I feel they can roll forward. And as I said, use number 10, Ancient Egypt, to come across and find a nice posse. There won't be much pace, I don't reckon. And I feel we can just either sit outside leader or sit behind the leaders. So, yeah, happy to have number 3, Uncle Bryn, on top at $2.70. Wishbet promo. It's a Sunday special this week, Easter Sunday. So when you're eating some chocolates with your family, have a bet with Wishbet between between 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. Run second and receive a bonus bet back on all races, all codes. A max bet of $50. So between 1 and 3, load up your account and off you go. We'll now move to Caulfield Race 1. Odds courtesy of Wishbet. With number 1, Zar, $3.40. 6 plus fours, $4.80. 2, Jamara, $5.50. 9, Cold Love, $7. 8, Reservoir Dog, $8. And $12 plus the rest. The speed map, as it's going to be the 1200 meter shoot racing, it's half a bend. Number 4, sorry, Gulf of Lion, the Waterhouse bot runner. I think that can lead. Jay Childs goes on board. Geez, he goes really quick up front. Don't know if he knows he's fast from slow. So I reckon they're going to set a nice tempo, fast tempo here. Number 5, Liberty Steps from barrier 10. I reckon they can come across. They can be 3 or 2 wide, but they can definitely be in the lead speed. 2, Jamara, and 9, Cold Love will camp right behind him. Plus fours, he can be 3, 4 wide, probably no cover, and Reservoir Dog behind them. And Zar, the favourite, should be 3 wide. Maybe plus fours can be the one that gets a bum. He can follow a bum into the race, but he could be 3, 4 wide as well. So be wary. Go through some of the runners here. Number 1, Zar. Nice win at Hawkesbury over the 1,000 metres. Now it's Caulfield 1,200. It's quite easy to get sucked into horses that run well over the 1,000, then go up to 1,200, and they just don't show that sort of run from the 1,000 metre race. So be wary. It's something that I don't like to look for in horses, so I'm happy to stay away from him. That's my only knock on the horse. He looked good over the 1,000, but as I said, it's 1,200 metres. Number 2, Jamara. I know I shouldn't be questioning this stable, but 7th up, first prep for a 2-year-old. Seriously, why? It's off-peak racing. I cannot recommend this horse at the price. Number 6, plus fours. It was a jockey error last start at Cranbourne and probably cost it the race. He was sitting last and was waiting for gaps to appear when he should have just come down to the outside. That was 1,000 metres up to 1,200. Same theory with Zar. Can't be part of it, but Preble, it sticks. Preble now is riding well and might have found his mojo. Barrier 5 can sit wide and out of trouble. He'd be one if you like. Happy to talk you into a bet on that if you like it. But the one I'm happy to be on with a 1x3 bet is number 5, Liberty Steps. Was a nice first start, but what really took my eye was its last 200s. The jockey gave him a crack with the whip, and the horse went to go straight past Jamara and then decided to either over race or lay in. It was hard to see, but it did a lot wrong. Winkers go on, so that should straighten the horse up when straightening. Barrier 10, and the way it pinged the gates, it can sit outside leader and give us a yell. This horse looks like it'd be better suited to leading as well. So if it sits outside leader, he's going to give us a good yell. That's number 5, Liberty Steps, 1x3 bet. Listeners, if you are listening or watching us via YouTube or listening via your podcast platform, please subscribe to our channel, like our channel, and you'll receive the episodes as you drop. Please share these episodes with friends or family, or if anyone is interested. We'd love to grow our listener database, as we really would appreciate your help. I'll now move over to race 2 at Caulfield. That is the 1,100 metres, benchmark 78. Number 11, Clemenceau, first up, $2.70. Number 3, Schnapper, $6. Number 10, Duchess of Dorset, $7. Number 6, Destination, $10 and $11 plus the rest. Go to the speed map. um, it's going to be a lot of pace in this race. You got Fine Dane, Young Liam, and Schnapper that really want to be leading this. So it's going to be sticky. They're barrier 3, 5, and 8. So I can see them easily leading. Turbian from 10 can really push up and sit wide as well. And you'll have Magnajet, Clemenceau, Ashlaw, Destination sitting behind him. Duchess of Dorset, who's in the market, will probably be 3 or 4 wide with a bum to follow. But Linda Meach could roll forward too. So definitely going to market support will tell you what we'll do. If there is market support, that tells me they will be rolling forward. All right, go through some of the runners here. Number 3, Snapper. Last 3 starts have been super at Moonee Valley. Last start was a Group 1 and was still in front with 200 metres to go and hit a wall, which was always going to happen with the pace they went up front. The horse was never, the horse has never gone that sort of pace up front, so I wonder if this horse will feel the effects. This horse is a dual acceptor for sale race 6. The race I'm previewing now looks a lot easier. So I'm happy to take on Snapper as it's away from the valley. And as I said previously, the lead speed from last start was just very fast and it might have cooked the horse. Number 10, Duchess of Dorset. First up at Bendigo was a pass mark and was disappointed for a run and not fully tested the last 50 metres. Should have finished a lot closer. Barrier 13, Al Meach on board, as I said in the speed map, can sit 3 wide as it's shoot racing and it's only half a bend, but it could also roll forward. But my gut feeling is they're going to take a bit of a sit with this hot speed, especially if Snapper stays in. It'll be a good blowout for it for Warrnambool in a couple of weeks, but if you like it, it definitely can win as well. But the one I want to be on is number 11, Clemenceau. First and second up, the horse pissed in and won like a really nice horse. Third up was down the straight. I thought it just didn't like the straight racing, didn't show anything near its first and second up. Might have trained off, but I'll take it. I'll put it down to straight racing. Tipped it out and now goes back around a corner, which I think it'll really relish. Has had one jump out in Sydney and looked to be a pass mark. I really like its last 50, really started to build into its work. My slight concern is a one jump out. Would have liked to have seen 2, but they've gone with 1. It does have a class edge on these. Barrier 2, Joey McNeil can camp behind the leaders and find a perfect spot and give us every chance of winning. So happy to be with number 11, Clemenceau. Around the grounds this week, I'm going to go to Pakenham on a Monday. It's a jumps meeting. Thanks to Oakbank for culling jumps racing. It's Pakenham's game. We're going to go with Pakenham Race 5, number 4, Valak. It's come into the jump scene last year and went really well, winning its first 2. And in the second win, it went over the sticks, went over the hurdles at the Bull and won over their carnival. Has had 2 steeple trials since, and this is a steeple race on Monday. Looks to have gone to another level. I have no prizes as we record, so if it's under $1.70, then we'll multi it with something you like on Monday. But if it's above $1.70, I will be having a good sizable bet on it. Multi-time. As I'm flying solo, I've had to do this for myself, so it probably wins now. Thanks, Matty. We'll kick things off with Richmond to beat Adelaide, West Coast to beat Sydney, Clemenceau to win at Caulfield Race 2, and Uncle Bryn on Friday, Sale Race 5. That comes to $28.46, courtesy of Wishbet. We now move to Pineapple of the Week. We will go with race 2, number 11, Clemenceau. As I said earlier, looks a class horse and a perfect barrier. I hope Snapper stays in the race. So, Nick, you can get a better price on race day. But I am very confident this will be winning and we'll make it 2 from 2. That's the end of the show, punters. I wish everyone a happy Easter. I hope you fill yourself up with chocolates. I thank you all for listening. More importantly, let's fill our pockets up for the Easter. And yeah, it's more I can say. Thank you all for listening. We will touch base next week. Hopefully, Matty returns from his MIA holiday and we can have a longer and in-depth show. Thank you all.